Hi there, it's Mark from Lightmap. I'm going to show you some new stuff, something a bit different for Light Studio, to do with some new stuff that's coming in version 5.4, positionable handles and advanced rotations. But we're going to do something that's not quite so much lighting centric, but more the kind of things that you can do in terms of adjusting and editing a HDRI map. So first thing is we just got this warehouse, and I want to add some more stuff into this HDRI map. So I'm going to get one of our windows and drag and drop that onto here, and then I'm going to just zoom in to that area. And then when we move lights in Light Studio, they kind of face the center of the sphere, so they're always normal to the sphere. And this means that you can't kind of align, so if we want to kind of replace these doors here with this window image, we haven't been able to do that so far, but with version 5.4 you can. So the first thing I'm going to do is we've got the new enable advanced rotations. We've separated these settings, so you could leave this rolled up and never use the advanced settings if you didn't want to keep the interface cleaner, or you can roll this out if you want to do stuff like this. So under rotations, enable advanced rotations, and it's in free mode, which basically means it behaves like normal when it's on the HDRI map, but you have the ability to adjust the rotation of this. What I'm going to do is change the mode here to vertical lock. So if it's on V lock, wherever I move the light, it's always going to be facing up. And then I'm going to move it over these doors here, and I'm going to do a Y rotation, and you can see the little dots for the outline of the light update as I'm doing the rotation. So I can then move that directly over. So those dotted lines create a really good reference for what's actually going on, and then I can twist that a little bit more to get it aligned. That's great. So my kind of outline dots are really well aligned with that, so all I need to do now is scale this window image, and then it'll fit in that space nicely. Oops. Okay, that's cool. So if I zoom out of there, we can now see that we've added an additional window into the HDRI map. So what I'm going to do is duplicate that light, duplicate, and move it across to here, and then I'm going to rotate that now, like that, line it up, and I'm just going to zoom in to this bit of the map, and let's just scale that up. And move it across. And as you can see, we're not aligned properly, so I need to just adjust this Y rotation again, with my dotted lines really helping with that. Just take it around again, and then we'll scale that up. That's great, and then we'll do the same again. We'll put another one here. So let's just do edit, duplicate. I'm going to move it over there, I'm going to scale it down, rotate that around, and change the height and give it a little bit more rotate. That's pretty well lined up. So now we just scale it so the content fills the space. That'll be fine. I mean, in terms of if this was being used for lighting, you know, we're not talking absolutely pixel perfect here. If you want, you know, you can spend as much time as you want to do this. So if we just come out of here, then that's pretty cool. I'll solo the original and then unsolo to bring those lights back on. And we've now got 3 new windows in this space. So if there were windows, we'd have some brightness coming in on the floor. So now let's try and fake that. So let's do a round light, put it over here, and change the bulb width. We'll convert this to an uber light so I can get rid of that cookie, so I just get the full rectangular image on there. So if I was to place this here, what I'm going to do now is use the advanced rotation, and I'm going to put on horizontal lock, and then we'll move the light to there, and we will rotate. That's the wrong way, press reset. That's the wrong way, press reset. So rotate the Z. That's it. So we kind of get this lined up, and again I'm going to zoom in now. So zoom in there, and we use the Z, and we kind of get that so it kind of looks like light is coming out, spilling out of there. So get it down to there, and make it a bit longer, make the bulb a bit narrower, and we'll drag that underneath the window, and then we'll put blend mode to amplify, and then we'll dial up the brightness of that, scale the width of it a bit. We can even turn on the half setting, and then just drag it forwards, give it a bit more of a rotate. And then run it back behind, so I'm not brightening up anything I shouldn't be. So we've got that's working quite good as a little light spill. So if I duplicate that, we'll drag that under here, and we just need to change the Z to get that aligned up. I make that one a bit wider. That's great. Use the hand tool just to move that across, and then we just duplicate that, and move tool to move that light there. Give it a little more rotate. And we'll just scale that down. And that's already got some kind of brightness there, so I'm going to just turn that down a little bit so it's not quite as bright as the others. So if I just go back now, so we go to the solo this HDRI map, and then we'll unsolo, and we can see the changes we've made. So now we've got some windows, we've got some light spilling through. Let's take more control over what's happening over here. So I'm going to load a picture light there. So we've got this Light Studio logo on a wall, just basically a graphic in some space there. Convert that into a mip-map version, so it's all nice and speedy. Change the color profile to sRGB because that's what the profile is, and we'll move that to here, and then we'll put enable the rotations, vertical lock, and then we will scale the width of this. So we've now got this like wall with a logo on inside our space, and if I just drag that down to cover the columns, then that's great. And I'll duplicate that, and then we'll move that down, and I'll convert this into an uber light. Just means I can switch the content to something different. So I'm going to change that to a bulb, and going to increase the bulb width, turn off the outside setting. Yep, so I've got, this is basically going to make a shadow that I put just under here to bed down this new wall. So just drag that, put it underneath there. Blend mode is going to be essentially amplify, but I'm going to invert that. I'm going to preserve the alpha, and then I'm going to just put log on there so that it changes the fall off, so it's more subtle. And then let's just zoom in. Yeah, so we've got this edge and we've got this shadow. Okay, so what else are we going to do? Let's put some signs up over here. So if I just zoom into here, we're going to put a light logo on there. So let's make a picture light. Go and get light map and move this light to here. Enable the advanced rotations, vertical lock, and let's just scale down the height of that. And then let's rotate it on the Y axis. And let's do it so it's like hanging off this bar. So if I want it hanging off here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the handle for the light, and I'm going to move that all the way to the top. So now the light is hanging off of this handle that's now at the top. So if I then just move that to this position on the bar, I can then rotate now the Y-axis. Do that again. Okay, and then let's scale that. Great. So I've got one sign there. I'm going to put another sign over here. So if I just zoom into there, duplicate my sign, and move it. The handle is holding it by the top. So if I move it to here, and then we'll rotate the Y-axis again until that's lined up. Cool. And we'll come out of there. We've got a couple of light map signs, our windows and our wall with a bit of a shadow. That wall looks a little bit too bright. Just darken that down a bit. Right, in the ceiling we've got these fluorescent tube lights. So I'm going to just go and zoom into there. But they don't appear to be on. So what we're going to do is turn them on. So we'll make an Uber light, and we will move it to here, and then we'll scale it right down. Okay, and then in terms of the content on the light, it's a bulb. We'll make it wider like that. And then because these are on the ceiling, I'll enable the advanced rotations, and we'll change the rotation mode to horizontal lock, and then we just need to start to rotate. So I'm going to rotate on the Z axis and then scale it that way, scale it that way. Okay, so this is, we need to change the blend mode to amplify, and then this will boost the brightness of what's beneath it. So we can then just scale that out a bit, and then come back to our bulb, pull in that edge a bit. That's great. And then we'll put log on so it's brighter in the middle, and it changes the way it falls off. Essentially it's like adding a gamma to this to so you get it's then not interpreted linearly, but it means you get a lot of control over how this curve falls off here. So that's quite good. So if I go change the brightness of this to say 4000. Great, if we come out there now, we can now see that this light is on. So I'm going to zoom in so I can see a few more lights. And I'm going to duplicate this light and then move the light over here. And then you can see it's not lined up, so I need to rotate on the Z axis because we've got horizontal lock on. And move that round. That's great. Duplicate that. Move it over here. Twist that round a bit. I think I'll do 2 more, so I'll duplicate that. Move it over here. I'll zoom in. And we'll rotate that. And we'll move it. That's it. And then duplicate again. Move it over here. And rotate. Fantastic. So zoom out. So now we've got our lights here illuminating. And what we can do is if I just open up the render view, and it's got the default kettle model. If I go to FreeCam and we zoom out a bit, basically pan out, it provides a way of us kind of seeing the result of what we're actually working on. So I'll just change preferences and make the map larger, so the proxy larger that is being used here. And then I can just make one change to the map to refresh it. And then we can see we've got our wall in there. We've got our windows and our signs. If I just come back and I solo, we can see that's where we started. I'll look up at those lights, unsolo. You can see those lights are now turned on. So let's just put a graphic onto the floor. So let's do another picture light. And then go and select this logo. Now if we choose rim light paint mode, click on here and click on the floor, that's moved it. So that graphic is added there. We need to change the color profile to sRGB because that's what the profile of the image will be, because it's just a low dynamic range image. And then we'll enable advanced rotations and horizontal lock. So now wherever I click in this space, that image is going to be placed on there and it's going to be correctly distorted and horizontal. Let's get some people. Here's my people and do sRGB and click on here. So at the minute, if I move the light handle to this guy's foot, and now wherever I click on here with room mode, that's going to place those people within this HDRI map. So I can do quite a lot more. I can do other things like, let's get a little spotlight and let's drag that, put that near the wall and put that into horizontal lock and scale it right down. And then let's actually go back to the map for this part. So we'll just close that view. And we'll zoom into here. So if we move that spotlight and put it near the wall here, we can create a round light and we can position it there. We can put the half setting on it and then use these, make it vertical, use our rotation to just line that up so we get the correct perspective. That's cool. Zoom out. So we've got the effect of like the light up lighting there. So if I put the blend mode to amplify, that's going to multiply the pixel colors of the content underneath by that brightness, and then we can do like a fake kind of IES lighting effect, and then boost the brightness on that. And if we look at the effect of this, let's zoom into there. You know, it's the effect like this little spotlight's lighting up on the wall there, so you can do stuff like that as well. So hopefully this is kind of showing you the power of being able to move the light handle so you can position things by any location. Also the new advanced rotations. You know, none of this was possible in previous versions of Light Studio. The default behavior before was that if you got a light and you dropped it onto here, it would always kind of be facing the center. You could rotate it only on the Z axis, and that was it. So yeah, the new rotations and the new movable handle is a real advance in the new version. So we really hope you like it. Thank you for watching.